What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Wizland with Wiz. Happy to be with you guys today. So, if you're new to the channel, my name is Wiz. On this channel, we talk about becoming a better version of yourself. And within that process, I want to share everything that I'm doing to kind of get you guys also into the loop of what it is to try to become better. I am an artist and I'm building a business within my art that I expect to grow within the next basically to the rest of my life. That's the purpose. That's the goal. But regardless to say, I know I have to become the best version of myself, and that includes within the fitness, financial, relationships, and just confidence as a whole. So if you're new here and you're trying to become better, I would suggest you to subscribe to the channel. Now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and get into today's topic, which is things to avoid if you're trying to reach the next level of who you are. And these are traps that I kind of noticed for myself, things that I've noticed for myself that once I stop doing them, for one, my energy levels increase, my attention also increase, and my ability to focus actually increase. So first thing is avoiding the rabbit hole of the internet. The internet is gonna be here for more than likely forever, unless something just crazy happens with it. But to be honest with you, I mean, now that it is the norm, now we see that younger and younger people are getting introduced to the internet, and when it comes to the internet, it's a free for all. There's no guidelines for most of the things. Anybody can just go to Google, put in some keywords, and basically get information about literally anything that they're thinking about at that very moment. But the thing is that now that I've gotten older, I have put a particular restriction to my usage of the internet. If I'm not using it to post something that has benefits for my brand, or if I'm not posting content that is going to help other people, I tend not to use it unless I also want to buy a product that I need for my everyday life, or I'm trying to buy a product that is going to be for someone else. So regardless to say, everything else, as far as entertainment wise, as far as um, well, which entertainment is the most important thing, because a lot of people do go into the internet to get entertained. But I would say the best way that you can start avoiding this trap of the internet is by putting in a strict time frame, on your schedule, on your day, for you to be able to use the internet. And when I say being able to use it, I'm saying that it counts as your social media apps, that counts as the browser, that counts as anything that you might use the internet for. And the thing is that when you become disciplined in that aspect of that you're telling yourself, you know what, maybe I've used the internet for so long, um, then you're going to first realize you have a problem, and second of all, you're going to try to do something to fix it. For me, when I noticed that I was on the screen time, which if you have an iPhone, the iPhone does a great job with telling you the screen time and where your attention is going within the screen. Example could be entertainment, YouTube, Instagram, or any app that you might be clicking on or using. Is gonna tell you and give you a good indication about the things that you're doing on your phone. So when you start noticing those trends, and you started noticing that you may be using YouTube a little bit too much, or maybe using Instagram a little bit too much, you're gonna have to start changing that habit, because you already built the bad habit. So now you're gonna have to change that bad habit in reverse. So the best thing that I can advise you is to create, um, give yourself maybe an hour. If you're seeing that you're consuming, or you're using those apps for, let's say, 11 hours, and you're not being productive, let's say 11, 10, 9, 8, whatever time from your on screen time has on your iPhone, I would say try to start reducing it by 30 minutes each day, or maybe an hour each day, because the more you become attentive, and the more you give attention to that, the more aware you're going to be about your actions. And because sometimes, and TikTok has done a great job with this, where I noticed for myself that I was using TikTok when it had just came out. When I told myself that I was gonna use TikTok to grow my brand, But what I found myself doing is because the content is so short, like from maybe 10, maybe 20 seconds, like you keep just scrolling up, just scrolling, and eventually all these clips come together and you've probably been on the app for about 3 hours doing nothing but just consuming content that does have nothing to do with what you want to do in life. So have a strategy on how you approach your content and your internet usage, because the more that you kind of pull back on your internet usage, the more effective you will be in real life. So that's my first number tip: avoid rabbit holes, avoid the internet rabbit hole, because it is very difficult. I know it is very difficult, but it's doable. And I think that that's one of the things that you have to understand. Once you really realize you have an issue, and the thing about using the internet, that it's become so normal for us to use the internet for any question. We just go to Google and try to find the answer really fast. It's become very like easy to access it. So when it's become a norm, we don't think there's a problem with us using it every second or every hour. And the thing is that we become so like drained just by going into the internet and looking for stuff that usually, like, one thing gets us sidetracked to another thing, and we just spending precious time on the internet. Number two, so the number two thing, and this is for men, specifically men, avoid any porn sites. And I know a lot of content creators say this, but avoid it, man. Just avoid it. I think that one of the main things, the main tips that I can give you, because I've honestly, since the age of 13, I was exposed to porn, and I've like been consuming porn since then. To be honest with you guys, it's a matter of you not doing enough in your day to be productive. And that's why when you're bored, you're actually going and looking for porn. And the thing is, for me, that I now as an adult, I really didn't think that was an issue, because I was like, you know what, I want, like, it's not harming anyone. I can still perform in my relationship. I can still do all of these things, but it does mess you up. The thing is that when you're like so accustomed to just consuming it, you're just gonna be looking at every girl in real life as something that you kind of relate to that. And for me, that was, I was very blind about that, because the reason that a lot of guys stare, a lot of guys do these things, and trust me, I was in that same camp where I was having issues when I was in a relationship, because my girl would tell me, "Well, why are you looking at that girl?" or "Why are you looking at that girl?" And that's why it's like it became an issue, because for me, I wasn't even noticing what I was doing. I wasn't noticing my eyes being driven by any ads that I would see. So you have to understand that it becomes a problem for you. But the only way that you're going to be able to change this is by understanding and being truth to your, because this is the issue with men sometimes, and with us, that some other people might notice what we have, our flaws are, but we don't want to notice it, because we tell ourselves we have control over that shit because we're men. But reality is, sometimes you have to be honest to yourself, and you have to be truthful to yourself, and you have to understand that if other people are telling you the same thing, different people are telling you the same thing, there is an issue. So you have to understand that porn is not real. You're not the guy like having that experience with the female. And to be honest, do you really, like, now that I think about it, the best way for you to avoid porn is to start thinking, what would you want yourself to be in that position, and what you want your girl to be online? Do you want your girl to be the girl being fucked online? And most of the times, if you're a guy that, like, if you're a guy, you're not gonna want your female out there. So why the fuck are you consuming shit that has to do with that? So keep that in mind, that maybe porn has become so normal now, but if you really want to associate yourself with that, like, does it really make sense for you? Do you really want to associate yourself with that? So nah, just think about it in that sense. I mean, for me, that's what it's helped me kind of stop doing that. Now I haven't really watched porn for a whole maybe 2 months now. And that's the thing, that the no fat movement and all that stuff, there's really good benefits about it, in the sense of discipline. You know, if you're able to kind of learn how to control that urge to fucking have sex and all these different things and stare at girls and all of these things, you're gonna be able to have discipline in different areas of your life. And that's what I've noticed with myself. Like for me, what's helped me with also that is being 75 hard. If you don't know what 75 hard, just Google it. Just put 75 hard. That was a program that has been created by Andy Frisella, and he's helped me in so many ways. I just completed it on the 25th of December, and now I'm in phase one. And to be honest with you guys, it's a matter of you just being more active, being more focused on the shit that you have going on in real life. And for me, I never really saw the importance to that up to this point. And to be honest with you, not that I didn't have people around me telling me that, like my girl at that point in life, she was telling me, well, you're losing time and attention on different shit that is not in your real life. And for me, I was like, okay, yeah, I know that, but I really wasn't trying to do anything to change it. But now that I do see myself in that position where I'm changing these things and I'm being aware of these things are changing. I see myself thinking clearer. I see myself making better decisions. And it's just a matter of you doing those things. If you feel bored, you have to add more into your schedule that's going to be productive to your business, to yourself, to your health, whatever it might be. There's so many things that we have to work on ourselves on that there's no reason we should be wasting that time on porn. So that's my number two thing that is making men weak as a whole.